Hey, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How are you? My name is Attorney Charles Zavala, your immigration lawyer. Our office is Zavala Texas Law. We are located here in beautiful Houston, Texas, but we can help you no matter where you are in the USA or even if you are abroad. So today's video is going to be about the TN visa. This is a business employment type of visa that's for Mexican nationals or Canadian nationals only. So if you're not from one of those countries or you don't have citizenship, sorry. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to answer 5 questions that I get asked a lot regarding this, right? And the reason why we came up with this is because we read our comment section, we do, and when we respond, it really is me or someone from my team. And these are questions that always come a lot. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to answer the 5 most common questions regarding a TN visa. Hopefully this can give you a little bit of clarification and then you can decide and make a better decision, or if you need help, you could always call us. The phone number there is going to be on the screen. All appointments are going to be with me personally via the phone, and I'll be more than happy to help you. Okay, so let's see. Start off with the first question. How long does a TN visa last for? Okay, so this is a good question. Normally it's going to be between 3 to 4 years, and it can be less so, and it's all really going to depend on the job offer letter. So whenever a company is trying to bring you, and when I say you, I mean the immigrant who's trying to come to the USA, part of the TN visas, we have to have what's called a job offer letter, where they're going to be saying, hey, I'm offering you this job, this is the type of job you're going to be doing, and I'm going to want you to hire you for this long. In that job offer letter, if they say the job is only for 1 year, then you're not going to get a visa for longer than 1 year. So normally what we do in the job offer letters is we put about 3 to 4 years or maximum time allotted by the law, which will be between, some consulate will give you 3, but most of them should give you 4. So that's going to be that question. So the longer you get your visa for, the better, because you don't have to renew it. Because every time you renew it, it's going to cost money. You have to go through the same process. So we try to get our visas for a longer time period so the client doesn't have to renew it as often. Good question. Second question says, can I apply for a TN visa from within the USA, or do I have to be abroad? Great question. So you can do both ways. We in our office, I'll say it. Us in our office, we prefer to apply at the consulate in Mexico, but you can also apply here inside the USA, and I'll tell you both why. I like to apply in the consulate in Mexico because the paperwork's a little bit easier, and we can usually get your approval done faster. Right now, what are we in? Spring of 2025. With our clients that are hiring, we're usually getting them an appointment within 1 to 2 months and their approval by 2 months, which is great. That's a pretty quick turnaround time. And what's good about when you do the consulate, all you have to do is pay the interview fee at the consulate, which is going to be about $180, and then it's in pesos. But then if you do get approved and you choose the longer visa, it's about $400 to get that visa. But then you don't have to worry about it until it expires, which is fantastic, right? But that's if we apply at the consulate. I like doing it that way. But then again, I have some clients who say, look, Charles, I'm already in the USA. I'm here legally. I got a job offer. I got to take it. Can I apply within the USA? And the answer is absolutely yes, you can. It's a different process though. We have to file different forms. If we are applying in the consulate in Mexico, it's the form called DS-160. If we are doing it within the United States, it's the form I-129. And you don't have to worry what these forms are called. We handle all the paperwork. You guys don't have to worry about that. But the problem is, if you apply within the USA, for them to process your application, you're looking at about 4 to 6 months. And that's time where you're sitting there twiddling your fingers that you're not allowed to work. So that's kind of unrealistic for a lot of people. So that's why I recommend we do it at the consulate so it goes faster. Okay, but there still is an option if you're in the USA and you say, look, Charles, what if I don't want to wait 4 to 6 months? Is there nothing I can do? Yes, there is something you can do. There's something called Form I-907, which is called premium processing, which the government will process your application for a TN status within 15 days from the moment you submit it inside the USA. Whoa, well, that's fantastic, right? 15 days. But they're going to charge you $2,805 to file it. And on top of that, and that's just for the premium processing. For the other form, I-129, they're going to charge you, depending on how big your company is, $1,000 or more. So if you are applying within the USA, you're already looking at almost $4,000 extra in filing fees. You know what? It's always a case by case. I have some clients who say, look, Charles, it doesn't matter. I need to start working ASAP. Then we'll do it. But if time is not of the essence or you got a few months to burn, I recommend we do it at the consulate. But that's a very good question. And I actually did a video about this if y'all want to look at it. I think I may have only done it in Spanish, but I'll look at it. So that's the question about whether you can apply here or abroad. Number 3, do all professions qualify for the TN visa? No, they do not. So I actually just made a video about this not too long ago. I posted what jobs qualify. And if you do not have one of those professions, you will not be allowed to do the TN visa. And that's a mistake I see a lot of people do. Sometimes they call us and they say, hey, Charles, my TN visa got denied. What can I do? And then I'll talk to them about it and I'll figure out that they never had the profession to qualify for. They were given bad advice. So that's a very important thing to do, just because you don't want to waste your money. You don't want to waste your employer's time if it's something that doesn't qualify. So the TN, and it's a long list. So you can look at the list, that video, or you can go online and type TN visa job list and you'll be able to see what they are. Number 4, can I bring my family if I have a TN visa? And sorry, some of them are in Spanish, so I'm translating them in my brain. Yes, so a TN visa is for the principal, right? So let's pretend I am from Mexico and I get a TN visa, right? I am a engineer, hypothetically, right? But I have a wife and I have a child, a giraffe. They are also allowed to come with me, but they don't come on what's called a TN visa. They come on something called a TD visa, like in football, touchdown, TD. And what that lets them do is lets them come live in the USA for as long as that visa is valid. They can go to school, but they cannot work. And that is important, okay? So yes, you can bring your family, and we do a lot of that. Usually we'll bring the TN person first once they get approved, and then we'll go ahead and do the paperwork in regards to the TN visa to bring the family, okay? Lastly, 5, is it possible to get a green card through the TN visa? Yes and no. So it's always possible to get a green card through work. We just have to figure out what process are we going to do it. Are we going to do what's called an EB2, EB3? EB stands for employment based. And then 2 or 3 is the category you're in. So there is a way to do that, but we do kind of have to be careful because the TN visa on its own is not what's called a dual intent, but there are ways that we can get around that, right? So yes, it is possible to get your green card. It wouldn't be through the TN visa, it would be through the employer sponsoring you, but having a TN visa could kind of be a stepping branch to get you there, okay? So these are the 5 questions we have. If you guys have more questions, feel free to call me. I do appointments in the afternoons. I talk to people regarding these questions all the day. I'm more than happy to help you. We had a great year in 2024 when it came to TN visas. We had a 100% approval rate. I'm not saying it's always going to be like that, especially in this new presidential administration. Things may get a little bit dicey because the visas are issued out by the Department of State, and the Department of State is getting pretty strict. So we'll see how that happens. But yeah, you guys can always call this phone number there on the screen. All appointments are going to be with me personally. My name is Attorney Charles Zavala, and I'm more than happy to help you in any situation we can. But yeah, thank you for watching the video. Subscribe to the channel, anything like that. We're here to help you, all right? Thank you and have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.